felt like that was the turning point of the game, when the offense really stepped up when the team needed it most. Can you just walk us through what that process was like? Do you guys also have a planned script for stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Each week we talk about 2-minute, just because it's an important situation, that we have to be aware of, and fortunately for us on offense, it's been a really confidence boost for our guys. I mean, they've done a really good job of creating points in those situations for the most part. I think we had one that we stalled out on earlier in the season, but it's something that we work on each week. We talk about it. And, a lot of times when you run those type of situations and you're in a 2-minute situation, our guys can get into rhythm and get into a tempo that is faster than normal, obviously, and allows them to play fast and not have to think too much. And so I know DJ is very confident in those situations. And so, we just ran some base plays and guys made them, and whether it was in the run game or in the pass game. So it was fun to see, and it was definitely something that was needed to go into the half, going up and having some momentum coming into the third quarter. And then obviously coming back in the third quarter, did a good job of our defense stopped them, and they punted to us, and then we scored. So it was a big confidence boost.
We saw that DJ led the team in rushing yards. How much confidence does that give the team that DJ can be such a weapon on offense and running?
Yeah, I talked to the offense after the game and just was really proud of how we can win and be successful in different ways, and not whether it's rushing for a bunch or passing for a bunch or a mixture, and different guys doing different jobs. And so, for DJ to be able to get some of those rushing yards, and that helped. Anytime you're rushing the quarterback or running the quarterback, you're gaining an extra hat. And so I think it's important that he gained confidence throughout the year, something that he wasn't able to do last year as much, whether it was just from his injuries or just he wasn't as effective with that. And so he's gained a ton of confidence in that, and I think our offense has gained a ton of confidence in that too, just being able to do those things with the running game and not just always hand it to a running back.
That last play where he scores a touchdown, he's smiling going into the end zone.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I was too.
I guess that's his confidence.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of play.
Yes, it was. It was something that, first off, we were able to, have them use all of their timeouts. So we knew they didn't have any more timeouts left. So we didn't want to throw the ball, risk of, having an incompletion and stopping the clock. And Coach Sweeney had a great idea of just, hey, let's get under center, make it look like we're going to really run that ball, right at them. And they were really over pursuing and really, attacking the ball carrier a lot. And so, DJ did a great job of being patient and kind of selling that handoff, and then came out the edge. And a couple guys, I think even Joseph Ngata did a good job of suggesting, hey, why don't I just run an over route, and maybe my corner will run with me and get him out of there. And that worked as well. And so it was really fun to watch, these guys finish like that. And I keep saying it, but I told the offense again, man, just whenever our backs are against the wall, when we need something, we need a score, we're finding a way to manufacture that score. And we've just got confidence in a lot of those situations.
You just mentioned Ngata suggesting an over route. Dave Sal last week was telling us he likes the fact that he can go to Kyle Richardson and say, I see this, and bring it up to you up in the box. How much more of that input, that back and forth, do you have with the players? Yeah,
a lot. And it's been it's given me a lot of confidence because, it's important that during games we're communicating. And it's not just the coaches communicating, it's the players, like you're saying, communicating to the coaches what they see. And obviously, we can't run everything, but there's a lot of times that they see some things that we might not have seen or thought about, and it might just be a little tweak here or there that can make a difference in a game. And so those suggestions are very critical, because I trust those guys. I trust those guys, out there on the field, and they're giving a lot of good feedback. So that's helped a lot.
Is that something you made an emphasis coming into the year, hey guys, come tell me, they'll tell me?
Well, yeah, I think it's something that I think it gives them confidence in the coaching staff when you can ask for suggestions from them, and it gets them more involved. And whether they're guys that are playing on the field or guys, we have a lot of guys on the sidelines that are watching a lot of things, whether it's the quarterbacks watching certain things, tight ends watching things, any position, they're watching too. And so when they give us those suggestions, it's something that we're definitely considering and adapting into that offense of scheme. So it makes it fun, and it makes it neat for everybody to be involved in other ways, not just being out on the field, but just, being on the sideline and giving us some of those thoughts too.
So how often does Dabo step in and talk to you about certain plays, or just say, hey, this is what we're going to run?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt, he's a big part of this thing. I mean, he's always been a big part of it, and things that he believes in and things that he sees as a head coach in a different perspective, and just so there's definitely suggestions and thoughts throughout the game that we do, and it's been a big help, in a lot of different ways of, his suggestions and things that he believes in has really helped us in a lot of ways too. So I think the camaraderie of our staff has been very, very good. And, that's something that was, very important for us coming into the spring is, man, let's make sure that we have good camaraderie and we feed off of each other with different ideas, and not just our offensive staff, but Coach Sweeney as well. And so it's been good. We've been feeding off of each other.
So does he just come over the headset and say, hey, this is what I want to run here, or how does that work? Just in game?
Yeah, I mean, there's a mixture of ways. I mean, I think one is, he's looking at the call sheet just like we are, and seeing things that we have for different situations, and he's suggesting certain things, and then sometimes he's like, hey, let's just run this right here, So it's a good mixture.
I guess, what do you think when he said, let's go with a boot here that we've never practiced?
Well, it was good because, we hadn't been under center all game long. To be honest with you, we didn't go under center because we thought it was going to be a rain type of a situation until late in the week, and so we didn't practice a whole lot under center and didn't want to have to mess with a wet ball situation. Not being under center a ton, and just getting under center, shows that, hey, here comes another run, and so that suggestion was right on point, and then we just tweaked a few things to make it work and fit it into what we were doing. So it just worked out good, which was fun to see.
Brandon, you had a couple of boots like that when you were here at Clemson, didn't you?
We didn't get under center much. We did a little bit. Yeah, we had a couple things that we did from under center, or just bootlegs and nakeds and trying to get on the edge for sure. Yep.
What does Boston College's defense present to you guys this week?
Yeah, Boston College is always a tough physical football team. That's the first thing that comes to mind as I think of Boston College. That's what they take pride in, and that's why, they're a tough unit. And so, Coach Hafley has done a great job on the defensive side of the ball of really keeping it simple. A lot of one high stuff, a mixture of some two high, but they mix in man and zone, which makes it difficult to figure out, hey, are they in man or are they in zone? And so, we got to do a great job of having some complementary plays there. But they're a tough group. They work their tails off, effort group. And then they got a lot of experience back. I think 8 or 9 guys are back from last year, So they're guys that know how to play the positions. They're very disciplined, and they don't have many busts. And so that's something that, that we got to challenge our guys on is our execution. They're going to execute on defense. We got to execute on offense to offset that.
Yeah, that first half here 2 years ago, I think it was, they had you guys on your heels.
Yep.
But you were able to kind of come back and find ways. That was also kind of DJ's coming out party. Is it, when you think back on that, is it amazing how far he's come from that game to the person he is right now?
It really is. He's, he had like you said, a big game against them 2 years ago, and then, had a ton of success as a first-year guy, being behind Trevor. Trevor was out, so we had opportunities to play him, and then He built a lot of confidence last year, a lot of adversity in a lot of different areas. And then just for him to grow through that adversity and, and be very, very confident where he is right now, it's pretty neat to see the progression. It really is. And I've said it before, but there's nobody more deserving than DJ. You heard me say it a lot, but just he works his tail off, and he's never compromised his work ethic. And so I'm just proud of him of pushing through that adversity and then watching him succeed in a lot of ways this season so far has been rewarding for him and me.
It's y'all and Syracuse on your side of the ACC that are the lone unbeatens. So y'all are in the driver's seat, something different from last year. Just how does it feel to be in that driver's seat?
Well, it's good. I mean, it's always good to be in the driver's seat. You play two big games these last 2 weeks that were critical for us to get into that driver's seat and for us to gain that confidence to play in a game at Wake Forest in double overtime and win that type of situation. And then this past week, another top 10 opponent in a big environment, and to win that situation as well just gives us more and more confidence. And now the key is going to be continue to trust the process and trust the fact that, hey, it's all about us, and it doesn't matter who we're playing, to be honest with you. It's about Clemson, and it's about us taking care of ourselves and making sure that, we're preparing the same way each and every week. And we know what college football looks like. You look around the country these first 4 or 5 weeks, and there's so many, situations where, if guys aren't ready to play or if guys, don't take one game at a time, it comes back and bites them. So that's the big theme for us throughout the whole year is we're playing Clemson every single week, and it's all about us.
Ran a lot of catches for the tight ends the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Is that strictly a defense thing, or what you see in the defense, or has there been a more concerted effort to get those guys involved?
It's really a combination. It's a combination of finding matchups, and it's a combination of just having confidence in those guys and lining them up in different ways, whether they're coming out of the backfield making plays in the passing game or they're lined out wide making plays in the passing game. And so, my confidence just continues to grow in that room and what they've become as players. And it allows, we've done a good job, I feel like, as an offense of spreading the ball around. It's not just one guy or one position getting all the catches or, and so I think that makes it harder for the defense to defend, when you have, different positions making plays each and every game. And so that's been a lot of fun.
You guys have had some 2x2 sets where you've had Jake and David Spoke lined up in the slot
Yep.
at the same time. Is putting them in the slot, is that something that you wanted to do more?
Yeah, again, matchups is a big thing, and then whenever we get into those sets, we're in 12 personnel, so 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and 1 running back, and a lot of times people are conventional and just get them in the backfield. The tight ends are just in the backfield, but now we have been able to line them up in different spots, and so whether it's in the slot or outside, creating those matchups with those big bodies, that's hard to cover, and it takes away tendencies too, and so just being able to grow those packages each and every week has been fun as an offensive staff.
So last week we heard from Kyle Richardson that there's even an emphasis on third down where his group and some coaches looked at third down and another group of coaches looked at second down, first down. Why do you split it up that way?
Yeah.
Looking at certain situations, certain personnel groups, you're like, what specifically do you gain by having different groups of coaches looking at those?
Yeah, you talking about as we game plan? Yeah, I think it's important to get everybody involved in the game plan. There's a lot of different ways that I've done it in the past and that we've done it here in the past. One way is to have everybody, sit in the room and watch every situation and watch every formation and watch every personnel group and go through that process that way. But I think there's a little bit more ownership maybe when you break off and you have projects for different guys and then they get to present and, it gives them a little bit more ownership of what they're doing, and I think, you can gain some even more ideas by doing it that way, rather than everybody being in the room the whole time and watching the same stuff, and so we've been able to do that. We've been able to break off and guys kind of focusing on certain parts of the game plan, and then coming back together and kind of rehashing it and let me look at it in a different way, and then just kind of coming up with the game plan that way. So that's kind of the reason why, and it's been going really well. Even though each week we're tweaking little things on how we want a game plan throughout the week, that's kind of been the gist of it so far.
With the run game Saturday, was the game plan to get DJ more involved early, or was it just the flow of the game?
I love getting DJ in the flow early as a runner. I think it gets him going. I think it, creates a sense of urgency as a runner, and it also allows him to not just be a pocket guy making throws back there. It allows him to get on the edge, and I think it gets him going, early in the game. So, it's a combination though of both, part of the game plan and part of just, hey, how can we get him going? What's the best way to do that? And it also depends on what the defense is doing too. So it was a good little mixture.
Brandon, I wanted to ask about college football analysts now. I mean, obviously when you got started in coaching, that wasn't a route you could take. But I mean, now that it's here, I mean, a guy like Kyle Richardson, a guy like Les Goodwin, have an entryway and they get there. And what's it like having more voices or more eyes to look at different things and bring to you that you might not see?
Yeah, I think it's very, very important. Any idea and anything that somebody sees that can present to our staff, could make the difference, and that's how we've approached it ever since I've been here. Coach Sweeney does a great job of empowering people to do their job and voice their opinion. And so we have a very, very smart and engaging support staff, and we've always been that way. And I think it's very, very valuable for those reasons. And so, I look back at my days when I was at Liberty and was at Richmond, and it was the 5 full-time offensive coaches and 1 GA. And times have changed. And it's been a good thing. It's been a good change. It's given guys opportunities to share those thoughts and share those opinions. And it allows us to be even more multiple, allows us to be more creative. So it's been very, very good so far.
Now when your offense has a meeting, your offensive staff has a meeting, you need a big meeting room to do it? You can't fit everybody in.
That's exactly right. I believe we have 12 or 14, maybe I think 14 guys in the room, and so and everybody's got different projects that they're doing. It's everybody's got a responsibility, and John Gross does a great job of overseeing that, as our senior guy that just kind of oversees the different projects. And so our guys are put to work, and they're doing a great job of feeding off of each other.
Is that ever overwhelming? Now that the guy's so big, everybody's got an idea. Like, do you have to maybe take a step back and hold on a second, or how do you find that balance? Yeah,
you got to do a great job of managing it. You really do, and you got to find a way to make sure that every support staff guy has a job and that they're doing their job and not trying to do somebody else's job. But it's very, like I said earlier, it's very beneficial because as long as guys are doing their job, and then on top of that, given those ideas and understanding that, hey, every idea that they give is not going to go into the game plan, and they just got to accept that. But man, being able to, process all that, early on can be overwhelming. You just got to be able to pick and choose what you feel fits the offense the best and fits what we're trying to accomplish. And but for the most part, man, it's been really, really good.
It's just looking back at the DJ to Shipley play on the sideline. It looked like DJ really worked through his progressions, and there was the tackles really give him great pocket. How different is that with DJ, just his ability to stay focused down the field and work through his progressions?
Well, his confidence in the pocket has grown tremendously from last year to this year, and for a variety of reasons. But man, he trusts his protection. We haven't given up a sack, I think, in the last 2 games, right? So I mean, that's a big time confidence booster for a quarterback to just have that much, confidence in his offensive line and running backs as they're protecting and tight ends as they're protecting. And so he is feeling comfortable in the pocket, and it was great to see him just go through his progression. And heck, that was the 5th guy for his progression. So he went through a full field read right there. And then it was really awesome to see Shipley just make a play right there and show everybody that there is no question this kid is not just dynamic when you hand him the ball, but he's dynamic outside of the pocket and as a pass threat. And so for them to be on the same page was really, really neat to see. And Shipley turned that thing into like a little bit of a wheel route. Just awesome to see. So I think they're just growing in that way too, just like as far as guys, in the pass game, if things aren't happening right away, of adjusting, whether it's a scramble drill or something like that, and that's kind of what that ended up being.
Did you know right away that the referees were reviewing a knee down situation? Because it looked like the ball got away from Will at the end and then flipped out bounds.
Yeah, I did not know that he, it was close to a fumble situation. I thought it might have been him down at the 1 is what ended up being the call. So we're just trying to get ready for that next call if it was down at the 1 yard line, which we had to get. And so, at first I didn't know it was close, so ball security is something that, we've been fortunate a couple times. I think Davis Allen had another one that was close. They blew it dead because of his forward progress. But we got to continue to emphasize, that ball security and finishing.
Any questions for Coach from Zoom?
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. On that bootleg, DJ sold it really well. And Coach Sweeney told me after the game that that was a point of emphasis. He didn't carry out those fakes as well last season. How much did you have to work with DJ over the spring and August on that?
Yeah, I think we really take pride. We got to take pride at quarterback to, sell our fakes as much as possible, and because it's our job to influence the defense and try to pull the defense with us when we're handing the ball off. So I've always taken pride in the faking part of it. And so DJ has a knack to him as far as, his patience, and he loves that, being able to sell some fakes. And he was able to do that and just be really patient. Had some poise right there in that situation. Which was really good to see. I think it really held that backside linebacker that was coming off the edge, and so it was good to see him finish that play, and his patience really helped it.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, Coach Streeter, this is Anna Adams. I think Coach Sweeney said last night that Adam Randall is kind of ready for prime time. It's just a matter of he'll get more opportunities as it goes. I mean, is that a matter of kind of just letting it happen naturally, or do you try to script him some more plays to get him more touches just so we get to speak well a little more?
Yeah, no, he has done a really, really good job of his, number one, his preparation, how he practices. He's making plays every single day. And so, he's a guy that's just going to continue to get more and more reps, and he's going to find ways to get the ball. There's no question about it. Just playing that position, our 9-man or our guy that's into the boundary most of the time, I mean, he's going to just naturally get more and more balls. And so I think you'll see him, be even more productive as the year goes on. He's done a great job.
Anyone else for Coach?
It's just in general with the offense. I mean, Coach Sweeney was saying that you guys really had to manufacture everything last year. And now you're averaging 40 points a game. I mean, how much more confidence do you feel like is in that locker room, and how much more fun are they having just making plays as opposed to last year?
Well, you just said at the end, I mean, making plays is giving them confidence, and then it's giving me confidence to call plays, Anytime guys are not making any plays and it's just hard to get it going, it's hard to call some of the shots down the field, because then you're getting even more backed up, and you're not on schedule on second down and third down, and then we all know when you get into third and long, that's a hard situation, and so man, them making the play, it starts with the players, you know, getting the right players the ball, number one, and then by making those plays, it just, like I said, gives me confidence to call those down the field plays a lot more, and it allows our staff to be even more creative to find ways to get those guys the ball. And then, you know, it really comes down to the quarterback. Is he confident, and is he giving guys a chance to giving those guys a chance to make plays on the ball? And DJ's been able to do that for the most part this year. And so you're just seeing an offense that is just continuing to gain more and more confident. And that also is a reflection, too, of the coaches being able to have confidence in them. And so it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And the demeanor's been really good. And our leadership has been really good. And it's just been a positive atmosphere.
Do you think that's been the main reason for the difference in production so far this season?
Is what? Just go, absolutely. 100%. You know, it's you know, our you know, our lineup and our personnel has been pretty consistent, which is totally different than last year. We had changes every week, you know, whether it would be at receiver or offensive line or, you know, and so that has been a constant, which has allowed some confidence for the quarterback and for other positions as well. And so anytime you have that constant, you know, you're going to be able to be more confident, and you're going to be able to make more plays, and that's what those guys are doing.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.